I took the last couple of weeks off from videos as sort of a post-album break. The Book of Souls First Thoughts video was sort of its own thing, but now I'm going to try and get back to doing lessons and other kinds of videos like that. I know I'm supposed to be in the middle of a subgenre history series, but recently I've been too busy to actually do good research for that. So instead, I'm going to work on some old ideas that have been floating around for a while that I feel like are a bit easier for me to put together. This is going to be kind of a throwback, way back to some of my old videos. Actually some of my original videos where I used to use song lessons as a way of demonstrating basic music concepts. Today I'm going to show off the intro for Limbs by Agalloch, specifically an original arrangement that I've made for a solo guitarist. This makes this a new addition to the old Agalloch Riff series, which I started pretty much a year ago and more or less kick-started my whole video making. If you're not familiar with the song, you really should be. It's the most played Agalloch song on Spotify, and I'm part of the reason, mainly because I have Pale Folklore in the Mantle, but not Ashes Against the Grain. But it's a really great song. The intro is a dual guitar lick that's in the key of D major, and both guitar parts basically trade off with one another to create these awesome harmonies. So the two guitars start off playing the same D in a unison harmony. And I'm going to reproduce that sound by stretching out to play on both strings. So for the next measure, one guitar drops down a half step to C, the 7th note, while the other one slides up to F sharp, which is the major third. This creates a perfect 4 harmony, and it's basically an inverted F sharp power chord. And because both notes are moving in the opposite direction, it creates this counterpoint. So we have for the next measure, the F sharp holds, while the C sharp keeps dropping to a B. And this creates a B power chord. For the last measure, the F sharp shifts up a minor third to the A, the 5th note in D, and the B also shifts back up to C sharp, which lasts for half a note before sliding out to a half note A. So we close with this A octave harmony. So that whole thing again. The melody repeats with a minor change. The first measure is still the D unison. For the next measure, the D slides down to F sharp, but the other one stays at D. So we have this really cool dissonant minor second sound. The third measure is exactly the same with the B power chord. And then the last measure ends on the C sharp A harmony. At this point, the main riff comes in. Now the actual song is played by 2 guitarists, and the notes slide back and forth, so it's impossible to actually play this as a solo guitarist without losing the sustain that holds between your notes. So for my arrangement, I preserve the sustain by using natural harmonics. Before I go into my arrangement, I'm just going to throw together a crash course on the natural harmonics that are on the guitar, so it's easier to find the notes that we need. I'm going to use the D string as my example because it's relevant for the song at hand. The first harmonic you typically learn is on the 12th fret because it keeps the same note as the one you're fretting. So this D is the same as the D that we would hold down. The next one you learn is usually the 5th fret, which is the same note as the open string, but an octave higher. So this fretted G note makes a D harmonic. After that we have the 7th fret, which like the 12th fret makes the same note that you would fret. So this A creates an A harmonic. The 4th fret also makes the same note you fret, but it's an octave higher, and at this point the harmonics are harder to hear, so you may not be able to pick this up, but you can try it on your own. The 9th fret makes the same note as the 4th fret. The last one I'm going to show is the 3rd fret, which produces a note that's a major third plus 1 octave higher. So this fretted F makes a high A harmonic. That's all we're going to need for limbs. So the first measure will be the D on the 4th string, 5th fret. For the F sharp, we can play it at 3 places: the 4th fret of the 4th string, as well as the 9th fret, and also the 7th fret of the 2nd string. The C sharp we can play on the 5th string, 4th fret, and also the 9th fret. The harmony I'm going to choose is at the 9th fret. For the next measure, remember that the F sharp holds, but the C sharp drops to a B. The only place to play that note is the 12th fret of the 2nd string. So we have for the final measure, the F sharp goes to an A. The only place that we can play that is the 3rd fret of the 4th string. For the other note, which goes to C sharp, we're going to play the one on the 4th fret of the 4th string this time. And then that C sharp goes to an A halfway through the measure, so we'll just push it up a half step. So just to play that whole thing again, we have D, F sharp and C sharp, F sharp and B, C sharp and A, and then for the repeat, we'll go back to D. Next we have that minor 2nd harmony, the D and the C sharp, back to the F sharp and the B, and then we're just going to end with the A.